The past is the past, but our story about it can change at any given moment. So the event still happened, but the story we tell ourselves about that event, that is something that we can change. And he said that ketamine really helps you dig in because, well, first off, he said the most challenging aspect of trauma is that we feel like it can define us. And ketamine helps you see the traumatic events with a new perspective, detaching from the overwhelming emotions and allowing for more objective processing.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the eye-opening combo I had with Sam Mandel in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that interview, feel free to pause this now, go back and listen to that one. Or you can listen to this one and then listen to that one. You can listen to them whatever order you want. I found it to be really fascinating.
Yeah, actually, I always find it funny that people tell us. We've clearly said this almost 300 times now, or 250 times now, saying you can pick if you want to watch one, listen to one first or the other, or watch.
People need permission.
But then when people meet us, they say, oh, I really enjoy your recaps, so I listen to them first and then go back. Or other people are like, I don't know, I have to listen to this first verse. Yeah. I can't listen to
They want to guess. Second. They want to know if their takeaway is what we're going to talk about, which I think is really fascinating. I think it's also what a great personality test.
Yeah. I don't know what conclusions we're drawing from it.
Here's what I will say. Yes. I listen to a couple of true crime shows, and I cannot listen to the talking about the show until I've listened to the show. Because I like the anticipation of like, did he do it? What's going on? Like, I like that. And then I like listening to...
What are you talking about? You skip to the end.
Well, when we watch The Crown, yes, I Google like if it's a true... sometimes
this is how it always goes. This
makes
is like,
me want to know.
This is the Lesley thing. We start a thing. There's some kind of stress, which is in every TV show. It's on purpose. And then she pulls out her phone, Googles the resolution to the entire show. And then I'm always like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I literally don't want to know. I want to enjoy the show the way they made it. No.
I am not your friend who supports you not finding out if you're having a boy or girl. Even though I completely support whether or not they identify as that, I like to know.
You're not not going to do the Moira Rose? I don't know if you trust me with that secret.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to hold a secret. No, that's not true. I can't hold a secret.
Hilarious. All right. Well, today is March 13th, 2025, and it's a day for two special things.
So here we go. First up, it's International Every Girl Wednesday. This holiday helps bring attention to women's rights worldwide, especially to young girls. The celebrations involve talks, lectures, and conferences on women's empowerment in every country. The goal is to achieve long-term systemic change that addresses women's rights to equity. The day also inspires young girls to take pride in their most essential assets. They are encouraged to support each other and be ambassadors of the female empowerment movement, not just beneficiaries of it. The Every Girl Wins Institute introduced this holiday. That's so cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
What a fun day. Okay, well, that's so fun. We have to figure out how to celebrate that more. Let's participate next year. I don't know. Lex, if you're listening, let's talk about it. Okay.
Yeah. Second up, it's National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day.
What?
Right? I was like, okay, I need to include this. So it's a day to test the popular superstition that opening an umbrella inside will bring bad luck. So I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't realize it. I've heard of walking under a ladder, something about black cats. I don't actually know.
I've always heard that opening the umbrella inside is bad luck, but I've never participated in it because where else are you supposed to open the umbrella? Outside in the rain? Not
so
everything
you're saying you always open it indoor first and then go outside with it?
Oh, I kind of want to, if I can push the door open, I want to open the umbrella as I'm going outside because
as you're going
if
outside.
There's not most buildings don't have a porch, like what do you call it? It's not a porch because it's not what you're standing on. It's the overhang. Most of them don't have the overhang. And
I just think it's annoying because then you're wet under your umbrella.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
well, tell
So
us more about this.
apparently, superstitions are baseless beliefs held by people that influence their behavior. So shame on you, apparently.
Who's saying that? What is the science?
They are irrational beliefs that performing or not performing particular acts will lead to either bad luck or good luck. National Open Umbrella Day, Indoors Day, allows you to try your luck and see how your day goes.
Okay.
So if you're willing to risk it,
I just think that this person is kind of an ass. It's baseless. Your superstitions are baseless beliefs. There's so much studies on where you have attention. That's where things go. And that's why manifesting works. So I would just say, focus on the good things so you don't bring in the bad. I wouldn't go around going, oh my God, this happened because I opened an umbrella inside. But maybe you do. And so this day is for you. Okay. So we are at POT Denver. It actually starts Friday, but we are on our way. And so if you're there, make sure you come and say hi. If you're an OPC agency or Elevate member, we are having a little happy hour. So make sure you come over and find us and talk about it. Want to hug you. Then get this. Guess what, guys? March 18th, the 24th, the accessories deck is on pre-sale.
So that's less than 1 week, y'all.
Yes. So if you go to opc.me/flashcard waitlist, this is your last chance. Because next week's podcast, we won't even be talking about it because if you're not on the wait list, you can't get the discount. So you must go to opc.me/flashcard waitlist to get the 30% off.
We'll still talk about it next week.
No. Urgency, people.
Get on it right now.
Get on it.
opc.me/flashcard waitlist.
Hey, look, in case our things fuck up and even though you get on the wait list, you don't hear about it.
It's possible.
Also, because this is the last flashcard deck, is there a wait list anymore?
Yeah.
No.
What are we going to do with this wait list? We're going to have to email y'all and be like, hey, this wait list is now closed. Do you want to go over to other wait lists? And we'll let you know what we got.
Yeah, we'll have to, whoever is on the team listening, please assign me that task.
Yeah.
Okay. April.
Coming up hard. Coming up fast.
April is coming up fast. And spring training is going to be April 27th through May 3rd. And those who are on the wait list are going to get the early bird special. And this is a different wait list than the flashcard wait list.
It's true. They're not the same wait list.
No, they're not. And so if you go to opc.me/events, you are going to be entered.
It's plural. opc.me/events.
Plural. That's where you go to make sure you get the early bird opportunity because we will open up the early bird signups a few days before regular signups, and only those on the wait list are going to get the discounted rate. Up next, Brad, what do you got for them?
Okay, we've got the Profitable Pilates Accelerator free webinar. If you are taking any clients on your own, anywhere, whether that is at your house or in the park, or your friend is, buying you lunch, technically you are getting paid to teach, and that means you have your own business. And I'm sure you're aware, Lesley and I have been working with business owners just like you, just like us, where we were and where we are, coaching them through all the hard questions. How do you get new clients? How do I make this a living? Whatever the question might be. And I have a free webinar for you specifically on increasing your income. Okay, so come join me. Go to profit.biz/accelerator. That is profit without the O.biz/accelerator, and join me for this free webinar. I can't wait to dig into the 3 biggest secrets that Lesley and I have learned after coaching more than 2,500 small business owners just like you. And then finally, we've got October of this year.
Cambodia. We just got back.
We literally just got back.
We just got back, and it was kind of a quick trip for us. We were only there
2.5 weeks. Yeah, we were traveling for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, we spent a couple days in Singapore, so not really 2 full weeks in Cambodia, but we loved it. And we're jonesing to go back already. And we have some epic people who already signed up. I'm really excited. Some of these people have been on the next time. I'm going to go next time for years. And now they're coming.
It's true.
And we have some repeat offenders coming.
We have someone else signing up this weekend. It's definitely starting to get full. October is a very popular time for our community. The weather is lovely. It's quite beautiful. If that's something of interest to you, make sure you reach out to us as soon as possible and we'll get you all the information that you need to make the decision. But it's going to be October 12th through the 18th, 2025. So come hang out at our favorite place in the world.
Yes.
Where do you go? crowsnestretreats.com, crowsnestretreats.com. Okay,
so we're going to get into the amazing Sam Mandel and we're going to learn all about ketamine and talk about it. But before we do that, we have a question from the audience.
We sure do. Okay, Eva De Bruyne from Instagram states and asks, I know you enjoy lifting weights. Is the reformer like the contrology reformer and mat and one to chair, etc. Is that enough? Or do you recommend adding weights to the workout routine? I get asked a lot, is mat enough? Yoga, you are using your body weight. What is your take on this? So a couple things. So I think the way that this is written, I'm not sure if she's asking if she should go to the gym and be lifting weights, or if she's asking if you'd be adding weights to your Pilates practice.
I think it's the first, which is like going to the gym and lifting weights in addition to your Pilates and your yoga. So here's the deal. Unfortunately, many of the studies that have been done on Pilates and Pilates resistance has been done with Pilates that isn't how I teach. Scientific studies cost a fuck ton of money. I've postponed a particular call with a group that does these studies multiple times because it's tens of thousands of dollars. And the reality is it's not even the best way of testing because the more Pilates you do, the more muscles you bring in. So then who should we be testing? There's just a lot of things. So what I can tell you is my contrology equipment has the heavy springs. Obviously, that is resistance. That is absolutely resistance. Is it the same resistance training as heavy weights? I don't think we can say that it is. And so what I'm going to say is, I know you're very busy. I know you've got a lot going on. I would love to be able to say Pilates is all you need. I don't think it's true.
It's all you need.
I don't think it's true. But here's what I would say. Pick a couple days to do some heavy kettlebells. Pick a couple days to do some barbell training. You don't have to hit. I'm not actually a big fan of hit for women over a certain age. It can be really cortisol inducing. But I would do some heavy weightlifting. I would. Also, because it's cool, because it's really cool to see what you can lift. It's really fun. The mat alone is epic and amazing for mobility and strength training. But even Joe realized that people needed more. And that's why he brought the springs in. And it's not that they need more because the mat isn't enough. It's because they need support to teach the body parts that don't have the access yet. So I actually use my weight training as information on where I have work to do. Like my Pilates practice could support my weight training. I recognize like I have a balance issue when I do my single leg deadlifts. And so I use my Pilates Cadillac and my reformer to help train the things that I need so I can weight train better. So to me, Pilates is actually so I can do my life. I'm sure there's a yogi out there who's gonna get pissed if I say yoga is not enough, but I'm gonna be really honest. Depending on what your bone density is doing, body weight exercises alone are not necessarily enough because you need to stress the muscles. So that is where I do think heavy springs can be compared to lifting weights, but they're just different things.
Stress the bones.
Stress the bones. Yeah. You stress the muscles, which pull on the bones, which creates good stress on the bones, which creates good bone density.
Yeah.
So the other thing I would just say is your body you got one. And the longer we wait to challenge it, the harder it is to support it. And so if you want in my routine, I do Pilates 5 to 6 days a week. I lift 3 to 4 days a week. I do yoga twice a week. I walk every day. And I do these things because I actually want to be 100 years old and still be able to travel and hike and be independent. So I just like, what do you want in your future? And then how does your fitness regimen actually support what you want? Where are you at in your age group? Notice I didn't mention any cardio in there because my Pilates practice has bouts of cardio in it. When I'm doing some of my yoga stuff, my heart rate goes up. When I do some of my lifting stuff, my heart rate goes up. So I'm challenging my heart in multiple ways. I don't need to spend time doing that, but I would lift some weights, babe. And yes, your mat practice is essential. It's amazing. It's great for mobility and longevity, but I do not have a study in front of me that says it's enough.
Right. Well, great question, Eva. Thanks for asking that.
Yeah. Here's the deal. If someone wants me to do a study, I would love to do it. You have no idea how much money you actually need to do it.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
And you need people who know the method. I would want to have people who are beginners, people who are advanced. I want to have women, men, but then the women's cycle and where they're at. There's so much information. And I think that until we have that, you got to do it all.
You got to do it all. All right. Well, stick around. We'll be right back because we're about to dig in to a really interesting conversation with a doctor, Dr. Sam Mandel. We're going to talk about ketamine, special K, all the drug paraphernalia names. It's all the same stuff, y'all. It's just actually how you use it. And he went way deep on that. So I thought it was really interesting. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's talk about Sam Mandel. Sam Mandel is the co-founder and CEO of Ketamine Clinics Los Angeles. Sam and his father, who's also a doctor, opened KCLA in 2014, making it one of the first ketamine clinics in the entire country. Sam's passion for this innovative treatment stems from the profound and lasting positive impacts it has on people's lives. He believes ketamine therapy offers individuals the opportunity to rewrite their stories, overcome deeply ingrained mental patterns, and step into a life filled with hope, resilience, and joy.
Okay, so when I got to talk to Sam, I was like, okay, I'm very interested because we've had Dr. Kelly Bender on.
Yes.
She's a dear friend of mine, and I know that she does ketamine
Therapy
treatments.
and treatment. Yes.
And we have a personal friend who we know has done ketamine treatments. She tried to do them on her own. And
yes.
that was,
I mean, she was prescribed it, but she did them at home alone.
yes.
Which I thought, I didn't realize that was an option.
Well, and also we have another friend where his wife has gone to a clinic like Sam's, and then he did it on his own. And so anyways, so I just was very interested because also I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. And then when you have a death of someone who is abusing it with other things, then people get scared of something.
Yeah.
And so I was really intrigued because I think a lot of ways that people are affected of being it till they see it is they have past traumas or things going on in their brain that keep them from having the ability to be it till they see it. They have all the ideas. They've been listening to this podcast. They have all this support, but then they have this stuff that's keeping them in their way. And so I really wanted to have Sam on because if ketamine can help them, then they need it to be it till they see it, right? So here's one thing I learned. Ketamine is actually a psychedelic. I guess I didn't know that. I don't know what I thought ketamine was. So I thought that was really interesting. And it's really the only legally available psychedelic in the United States. It has the ability to dissolve these barriers that get in our way and help people get out of their own way. And so obviously traditional talk therapy is really great. It can helpful, but it has limitations. It's because our conscious mind gets in the way and makes it difficult to confront those deep-seated issues. But ketamine acts in a different part of the brain than antidepressants can. And it allows these breakthroughs that aren't necessarily possible with other methods. And I think that's really cool because we've heard of great stories of how ketamine can help people like vets and different things. And like it's
PTSD.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And it also like just kind of helps you take a different look at what the thing is. And I think in our own brains, we can judge ourselves for our actions we took or we didn't take in that situation, because it can be difficult to kind of forgive yourself about how you participated in an event that's affecting you or how long it's affecting you. Just get in your head about it.
Yeah.
And the way that ketamine can actually, when prescribed correctly and when done at I think it's so cool that there's a clinic that you can go so you know you're safe. You know, I mean, first of all, it's
a
safe.
controlled environment.
It's a controlled environment. Yes.
I think that's half the reason why I stayed away from drugs was I didn't know what was going to happen. And if I knew something was going to happen to me and I was going to be impaired, am I in a place where I'm going to be safe?
Right.
Right. So
when I finally tried doing a little like microdosing of mushrooms, it has to be at the house. There can be nothing going on.
I can't have any obligations.
Right.
No expectations from anybody else.
Yeah. All of these things. We didn't even need to do that. We could have just gone to Sam's Clinic and it's all set up.
Sam's Clinic.
Sam's Clinic. It's called not Sam's Clinic. It's called Ketamine Clinics.
Yeah.
Ketamine Clinics Los Angeles.
Yeah.
KCLA. So anyways, I just think that it's important for me to bring to everyone's attention here that this is something that exists and there are places that you can do it in a controlled way to actually get the true benefits from it. And because I've had so many people tell me that they have great benefits, I just didn't want negative stuff to keep people from doing it in the right way.
Well, let's talk about why you might want to participate. Why would you be signing up to do a psychedelic? What I really enjoyed about Sam was him breaking it down from the perspective of a doctor, of what it actually is doing, how it's affected his patients. They've been around since 2014, so they're 10 years.
Yeah.
So they've done like 30,000 treatments or something.
That's insane.
Amazing. So he said ketamine helps people to craft the story around the trauma that they have. He said what happened is fixed, meaning the past. Whatever traumatic event happened, it's fixed and it can never be changed. The past is the past, but our story about it can change at any given moment. So the event still happened, but the story we tell ourselves about that event, that is something that we can change. And he said that ketamine really helps you dig in because, well, first off, he said the most challenging aspect of trauma is that we feel like it can define us. And ketamine helps you see the traumatic events with a new perspective, detaching from the overwhelming emotions and allowing for more objective processing. The potential for ketamine to promote neuroplasticity, meaning your brain is creating new pathways, right? So you know the expression, old dog can't be taught new tricks, right? Well, the whole idea there is that you're in a rut, you're in a groove, and it's really hard to jump out of that groove and create a new way of thinking because we just default to what is easiest, and what is easiest is what we already know. So if we've defined for ourselves years ago that this thing equals pain, this thing equals fear, this thing equals whatever the thing is, the story we tell ourselves, it is actually really hard to rewrite that story. And ketamine can help allow your brain to create those new storylines, those new pathways. So it helps bump out of that rut, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He said ketamine provides this kind of objective clarity. It can be extremely healing and transformational for people.
Yeah. Kind of makes you go, should we all just go and do a ketamine treatment? Like, can it just be like the jump start you need? I don't know. It feels, I feel like maybe it would help me get all the journaling in the world that I've been doing. I might be able to speed up the process if I just did a treatment around the thing that keeps coming up.
I think that's the idea. And I think also even just the concept of that, it still feels taboo. It still feels like this scary thing that, great, we've put it in a controlled environment. But I actually think it would benefit society if we normalized it.
Yeah. Well, we have to, first of all, we got to normalize mental health, and that we all
same
have different
exact
ways.
stigma as any kind of therapy or any of that. This is a different form of therapy than talk therapy.
I don't know. Maybe this is because we actually did do 14, 15 years in LA, and I knew people who were doing these things and doing controlled microdosing of other things. And because my friend studies it, I know the benefits. And so to me, it doesn't feel taboo. Also, maybe we all could use a little bit of, like, when you lived in LA, everyone had a therapist, and it was not
Pretty
unheard of for people to go, yeah, I'm going to go get some ketamine therapy. We need to normalize all that for the rest of the country. Therapy is real. Do it. And also, if you can't get to LA, do your research, but I would definitely use Sam's website for what you're looking at as far as what
standard, like
what the standard should
his
be. Yeah.
organization is the gold standard.
Yeah.
Go look up Ketamine Clinics Los Angeles and then compare that to a local clinic.
Or go to LA.
Yeah. Or reach out to them and talk to them and ask them, what they recommend.
Yeah. They had some great stuff. So anyways, I think it's great. I think I could see where this could be really useful.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not where you go do every Thursday, but if you've got ish holding you back, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Let's splash that ish.
With some special. I don't think that's what Sam wants.
All right. Stick around. We'll be right back with those Be It action items from Dr. Sam Mandel. All right. So finally, let's talk about those Be It action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Sam Mandel? Borrowing Nike's slogan, he said, take action, just do it. Honestly, planning and strategizing is important. Thinking things through, figuring out who you are, what you want, and putting together a plan that actually matters. So the just do it part could start with the planning, but I think it's so easy for us to have analysis paralysis. I was just having this conversation with someone over the weekend of, I started to do the thing and then I ran into a speed bump and I had to make a choice. But to make the choice, I had to learn a whole lot of stuff. And to learn a whole lot of stuff, it was going to take me a lot of time. And then what did I do? Nothing. Right? So sometimes maybe we can phone a friend and shortcut that. Maybe we can, join a coaching group and shortcut that. Maybe we can call a doctor and shortcut that when it comes to the planning and whatever. But I think just getting out there and taking messy action, we talk about that all the time.
And also, if you haven't yet listened to the interview, go listen to it, because you actually hear about how he and his father started the clinic, which was just doing it. It was like a freaking closet with a tiny desk and everything. But I think as we plan different things, there's part of me that loves how I do things. I just go for it. And then sometimes you and the team have too many questions that I'm like, I don't have the answer for that. I think we're going to figure it out when we get there. And it doesn't always work that way. So I would say if you are someone who has to know every single thing before you get started, this Be It action item is for you.
Yeah, there's just too many unknowns. So planning can stop you in your tracks.
We've coached so many people who have made sure they have all their plans to a T. And then something out of everyone's control comes in and fucks it all up. I've had friends who've literally planned exactly what they want their business to do. And then literally 2 months later, after they did everything to a T perfectly, exactly how they wanted, they spent the budget the right way, everything. Then COVID happened, fucked it all up, didn't matter. So, I think there's a healthy balance.
Yep. What about you?
Okay. He talked about it's too easy to let perfection keep us from taking the steps that we need to take to get done who we want to be. So
Wait, say that one more time.
It's too easy to let perfectionism keep us from taking the steps we need to take to get done who we want to be. So like,
I think it would be better to say to become who
we want to be, probably. Yeah. So I couldn't agree more. And he said, you're going to make mistakes, and it's really the only way you actually succeed in life. And he said, if you're dealing with mental health condition, he encourages you to call. And so a lot of times perfectionism shows up as a sign of imposter syndrome that you're dealing with, but it could also be a way of you controlling things, which can be part of a mental health situation. And so,
I mean, it's the same exact, here's a perfect example. If he's the gold standard and you don't live in Los Angeles, then you won't take any action because you can't get to the best one, right? That is perfectionism. What you could do is take messy action, give him a call and say, hey, I don't live there, but
what are my options?
What should we be talking about here? And just see if there is a path or some kind of alternate option for you wherever it is that you live. So
yeah, I mean, we talk about perfectionism here a lot. And I would just say, don't get mad at the perfectionist tendencies that you have. Use them as a highlighter of where you have work to do, whether that is doing a controlled ketamine treatment to get over this perfectionist issue that you have, or it's how can I get a friend over here who I just envy that they just go for things to help me take a look at this thing that I want to do, because I can borrow a little bit of their imperfection and go-getterness and help you. You know what I mean?
It's like a barrier. Perfectionism is a barrier that we throw up to keep ourselves from failure.
It is a great excuse for not getting shit done. You are correct, sir. Like, I know a lot of people who will say, oh, it's because I'm a perfectionist. That's why I haven't done it. And it's a really good excuse that people will just go, oh, well, that's true.
For me, I think it's the other extreme of the concept of, oh, I don't set any goals because then I can't be let down. If you heard someone say that, you would go, well, that's not how I want to live.
Yeah.
Well, the irony is that perfectionism is just the flip side of that coin.
Yeah.
We are inadvertently putting roadblocks in the way. We got to make sure everything's good, because if we don't, then it's going to fail, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be let down.
I really enjoyed him sharing his stories of how he built everything, because they had to be imperfect. Even if everything they did around how they controlled the environment for ketamine was exactly to a T, the way they had to open the business, grow the business, put things together, they had to do it trying to figure it out because it didn't exist before.
Right.
And so a lot of you who are listening have ideas of
He said he went to Radio Shack and bought a burner phone.
I know.
So that they could make sure they had some kind of a office phone.
I think we talked about like it was the Radio Shack that like is on Santa Monica Boulevard.
No, it was the other one. That's the one you brought up.
That's one. Yeah, I was like, but even if you just listen to this episode to learn from Sam, just getting started with what you have access to that helps you get going, we have to stop allowing ourselves to be like, well, I don't have enough information. I don't have enough of this. I don't have enough of this to stop. It's affecting your gifts from being enjoyed by the people who it's for. Imagine if Sam and his dad hadn't started in an office because it's not sexy enough, right? So anyways, just do it. That's what he said. That's
just
a big
do it.
Yeah. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for listening to our episode today. How are you going to use these tips in your life? Are you going to go to KCLA? Please let us know. Tag Sam Mandel, tag the Beit Pod. And until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.